Since the 30 September 2022 coup d'état, which ousted interim President Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba in Burkina Faso, led by the second youngest serving state leader in the world, and the youngest serving president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, he has not backed down on his plans to save his country. Since his rise to power, Captain Ibrahim Traoré appears to have forged a strong rapport with the Burkinabe populace. Burkinabe citizens have vested their unswerving trust in Ibrahim Traoré and his administration to efficaciously combat the jihadist menace. In February, Traoré's government expelled the French forces assisting in fighting the local insurgency from Burkina Faso. He subsequently declared that we really want to look at other horizons because we want win-win partnerships, supporting the diversification of Burkina Faso's international partnerships. Shortly after, Traoré's government expressed support for a federation with Mali and both invited Guinea. In April, he declared a general mobilisation of the population to support the military, as rebel forces continued to increase the rate of their attacks. Ibrahim Traoré publicly pledged to reconquer all rebel-held areas, and that there would be no negotiations until the insurgency had been greatly weakened. In the following month, Ibrahim Traoré questioned the planned restoration of democracy for 2024, stating that elections could not be held unless the insurgents were pushed back and the security situation had been improved. With all that was happening, on 26 September 2023, dissatisfied elements of the military unsuccessfully attempted to overthrow Ibrahim Traoré. The people of Burkina Faso, acting in unison, stood against this threat. Captain Ibrahim Traoré duly acknowledged this unwavering support, stating, "The people, in their benevolence, have entrusted us with their destiny, a responsibility we wholeheartedly embrace. Our resolve in this mission grows stronger as long as the people remain steadfast." For the military leader, the security and well-being of the Burkinabe populace reigns supreme, even if this entails postponing the initially envisaged military transition slated for July 2024. He emphasized, "While we hold hope for the eventual conduct of elections, such a process must not be confined to Ouaga and Bobo alone. Every Burkinabe must have the opportunity to exercise their choice in the selection of their president. Consequently, presidential elections, as a matter of priority, yield precedence to our imperative of ensuring security." Captain Ibrahim Traoré acknowledges the challenges inherited by his administration, particularly in the realm of national security. He remarked, "Organizationally, in terms of personnel and armament, our armed forces were sorely lacking. We were ill-prepared for armed conflict, possessing inadequate equipment and an ineffective communication infrastructure. The entire military possessed less than 200 Kalashnikov rifles. Our vulnerability was palpable. Presently, our capabilities have grown exponentially." On July 29, during the Russia-Africa Summit, Traoré said that the people of his country support Russia and communicated that a decision had been made to reopen the Russian embassy, which was closed in 1992. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has a bold vision for Burkina Faso. He aspires to see a prosperous, stable, and united Burkina Faso, where every citizen has the opportunity to realize their full potential. He has a great vision for his country and shared a few key elements to achieving that. Captain Ibrahim Traoré aims to boost Burkina Faso's economic growth by investing in agriculture, industry, infrastructure, and education. He seeks to create jobs, reduce poverty, and improve the living conditions of the Burkinabe population. Ibrahim Traoré considers security a top priority. He is committed to resolutely combating terrorism and insecurity that have plagued certain regions of Burkina Faso. To achieve this, he promotes a comprehensive security approach involving enhanced regional cooperation and the development of intelligence capabilities. For transparent governance, Ibrahim Traoré is committed to promoting transparency, accountability, and good governance. He wants to strengthen democratic institutions, combat corruption, and ensure the active participation of civil society in decision-making processes. When it comes to education and healthcare, the captain understands that education and healthcare are pillars of human development. He plans to make substantial investments in these sectors to ensure equitable access to quality education and adequate healthcare services for all Burkinabes. For Ibrahim Traoré, national unity is essential. He seeks to bring together the different ethnicities, religious groups, and regions of Burkina Faso by fostering dialogue, mutual respect, and tolerance. With all these moves to have a better Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has attempted to be overthrown through coups over 3 times. For years, coups were used to remove leaders who did not abide by Western rule and to install puppet leaders in various African countries. Leaders that they could easily control, those who were ready to align to the Western rules. On September 27, 2023, Burkina Faso's military government said it had foiled a coup attempt the previous day, almost a year after the country's leader came to power in a coup himself. In a statement read out on state television, it said a proven coup attempt was foiled on September 26, 2023, by Burkina Faso's intelligence and security services. At present, officers and other alleged participants in this destabilization attempt have been arrested, and others are being actively sought, the statement said. It went ahead to say the alleged perpetrators had the sinister intention of attacking the institutions of the Republic and plunging the country into chaos. Thousands of people took it to the streets of the capital, Ouagadougou, following a call from Traoré supporters to defend him amid rumors of a coup on social media. The military government said it would seek to shed all possible light on this plot. It said it regrets that officers whose oath is to defend their homeland have strayed into an undertaking of this nature, which aims to hinder the Burkinabe people's march for sovereignty and total liberation from the terrorist hordes trying to enslave them. 3 soldiers were arrested and charged with plotting against the junta. Investigators had received a tip-off about soldiers and former soldiers working in intelligence who were scouting out the homes and other locations used by key figures in the junta, including Ibrahim Traoré. Their goal being to destabilize the transition, referring to a term used to describe interim military rule before promised elections. Despite all the attempted coups against Burkina Faso's leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, it has not stopped him from doing everything in his power to make a better Burkina Faso. Recently, Ibrahim Traoré shocked the world with an unexpected move. Burkina Faso's leader, in a recent interview with Cameroonian journalist Alain Facot, suggested that his country might soon abandon the CFA franc as part of the effort to break all ties that keep the country in slavery. Recently, Burkina Faso, alongside Mali and Niger, has announced an immediate exit from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Suggesting that more changes may occur coming from him, the junta leader stated, "Let things unfold. Perhaps everything we've done has surprised you, hasn't it? More changes might still surprise you. And it's not just about currency. We will break all ties that keep us in slavery." Captain Ibrahim Traoré also clarified that Burkina Faso has no plans to rejoin ECOWAS, saying their move was an irreversible one. "ECOWAS is done," he stated during the interview. Indeed, critics view the CFA franc, backed by the French Treasury, as a colonial legacy, while proponents argue it has brought undeniable financial stability to the region. To justify their exit from the Economic Community of West Africa, the 3 countries, now collectively known as the Alliance of Sahel States, AS, accuse the regional organization of not assisting them against jihadists and deviating from the ideals of its founding fathers and Pan-Africanism. They signed a charter called the Litako Gorma Charter, envisioning the establishment of a collective defense and mutual assistance framework in the face of rebellion or external aggression. The Alliance of Sahel States, AS, held its inaugural ministerial summit on November 25, 2023, in the Malian capital, and 18 recommendations were adopted to lay the foundations for genuine integration within the new alliance. These include improving the free movement of goods and people, establishing a food security mechanism, and formulating a common industrialization strategy. A joint statement issued at the end of the summit also recommended the formation of an expert committee to explore the possibility of an economic and monetary union, as well as the creation of a common stabilization fund and investment bank. Foreign ministers of the three Sahelian states also proposed the establishment of a confederation. It does not end there. Captain Ibrahim Traoré recently began the construction of Burkina Faso's first gold refinery. For as long as we know, the West made sure they depend on them for the exploitation of their raw materials. But this will change soon as the country sets out on the construction of their gold refinery. The inauguration of the facility in the Kosodo industrial zone just east of the capital Ouagadougou was attended by transitional military leader Captain Ibrahim Traoré. The machines were entirely built here. I can confirm without fear of contradiction that Burkina Faso is the second country in Africa to develop this technology, said Ibrahim Traoré, who saluted what he termed the ingenuity of this Burkinabe revolution. Ibrahim Traoré mentioned that the opening of the factory was all part of his regime's bid to have the country manage its resources. He invited other African states to bring their mining waste to Burkina Faso, because we have the technology to process. Local experts developed the plant to process residue from the country's gold mines, said Joachim Marie Emmanuel Tapsoba, Chief Executive Officer of Golden Hand, the company that operates the plant intending to extract metals from the residues. The establishment of the plant is designed to allow Burkina Faso to process on site and have full control of the waste. By doing this, they'll restructure the gold refinery to support equitable distribution of wealth, giving direct and indirect job opportunities to the people of Burkina Faso. This gold refinery is estimated to refine approximately 400 kilograms, 880 pounds, of gold daily. Burkina Faso will thereby refine gold domestically, hence not exporting unrefined gold at lower prices. Ibrahim Traoré said on that occasion the idea was to refine domestic production of the country's leading export in the country rather than abroad. By doing this, state revenue increases. According to data from the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, EITI, the mining sector accounts for 14.3% of Burkina's state revenue. But gold production in the country slid from 66.8 tons in 2021 to 57.6 tons in 2022, marking a 13.7% drop, and Traoré last year alleged that a lot of gold leaves Burkina fraudulently, and this moreover helps to fuel terrorism. This move will significantly destabilize Europe's gold market if other African countries copy Ibrahim Traoré's strategies. Despite Europe's vast gold reserve, it lacks its gold mining operations, forcing it to rely heavily on imports primarily from Africa. All these moves represent Burkina Faso trying to regain control over its own resources. Captain Ibrahim Traoré embodies the hope for a better Burkina Faso. His ambitious vision and unwavering commitment to his country will hopefully lead Burkina Faso towards a more prosperous, secure, and unified future. It appears that the Burkinabe people perceive him as the political savior they had long yearned for, a leader who epitomizes their aspirational model of governance.